I'm on an airplane. The flight's going to leave at 5 a.m. And I got on that airplane and they put a brand new interior in it and the tiniest little seats I've ever seen. And the minute I saw those new seats, I thought, good night. Once I'm in that seat wedged in, I will not need a seatbelt. Turn this baby upside down. I won't go anywhere. I walked back to my row and there was a flight attendant there. People are getting on the plane. And I know exactly what I said to that flight attendant. I took my coat off and I said, those are the most puny seats I've ever seen. Like that, she let me have it in front of all kinds of people. She said, well, you could lose weight, you know. Oh, sweet Alabama. 5 a.m. and I got the mouth of the South on a Delta flight. She said, you could lose weight, you know. I said, you know what, you're right. You could get prettier. I said, I don't know how to tell you this, but you are one of the most seriously cosmetically challenged people I've ever met. I said, when you fell out of the tree, you didn't miss a branch on the way down. Now the people around me started clapping. A businessman there got his pen out. He said, say that again. I'll write that down. He said, where'd you get that? I said, I don't know. I think the devil gave it to me. I don't know. I'm putting my coat up overhead and the tracks in my pocket slipped out and I'm putting them back in my pocket. And like that, the Lord said, probably not a good idea to give her one. I went back up to her and I said, what I did to you, I'd never want somebody to do to my wife. I never want somebody to do it to my daughter. I said, I broke the heart of God. I said, I am sorry. She said, I've been a Delta flight attendant for 22 years. She said, no one's ever apologized to me. I said, today's the day. I truly owe you an apology. I was getting off of the airplane, and the captain was standing at the door kind of just saying goodbye to people, and that flight attendant's standing there. And as I'm walking down the aisle, she pointed at me, and she said, the big guy right there, that one. And I thought, oh boy, here it comes. She's going to get the captain on me. I walked up, and the captain shook my hand, and he said, I want to thank you. I said, thank me? He said, yeah. I said, I don't know, did you hear the whole story? He said, yeah, I did. He said, I'm a born-again Christian. And he said, I see Christians on our flights all the time who can't control their mouths. They can't control their tongues. And he said, you weren't doing too good, but you landed well. If you can't control your tongue, this world does not want to hear what you got to say.